Did you know?
Okay, now we are live. Welcome to Bedtime Meditations. This is January 22nd in the new year, 21. And let me see if I can adjust this camera a little bit. My top of my head is cut off, huh? It's a little bit better. There we go. And if you joined me last time, you saw me survive a coughing fit, which was a little bit scary. It's interesting that in 20 years of public speaking, that has never happened to me. It's happened to me in one-on-one sessions before, where I'm about to say something and I start to cough and choke, and that's how I know it's kind of an energetic thing, but I always listen to that. And I realized too that I needed to go live a little bit earlier, and allow my bedtime to be on time rather than being live until 10 p.m. every night. So, okay, let's see. I accidentally clicked something that doesn't allow me to see the comments. I go back to my channel. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so now you can type your comments in if you have any comments or questions. All right, so as we do, I'm going to start with a card pull. I did some individual readings on my Instagram live video just now. So I'd go live at 7 p.m. on Instagram and then come over here onto YouTube. And some themes came up. But what I'd like to do is shuffle the cards and pull a card from the Angels and Ancestors deck, which is Kyle Gray, for everybody that's tuning into this video, either live tonight or tomorrow morning, or maybe 3 months from now, because it'll stay up on YouTube, and see what message it is that you need to hear. And that will also help shape the meditation that we're about to do. I don't ever plan these meditations in advance. I completely leave myself open. This card just popped out. I leave myself completely open to being a channel for the energy, whatever energy that wants to come in. And that's why now I've started wearing this layers in this scarf, because I start to get real hot and I start to overheat. And it happened to me earlier today too. I did a medical intuitive reading with a longtime colleague, Tara Brennan. She and I are going to be doing some collaborating on Clubhouse, which is an app that is right now invite only. But if you're on it, you can check it out. There's meeting rooms and it's all audio. And she's going to be doing some, things like aura readings and teaching some meditation tools. And I'm going to be helping moderate. So we're going to be organizing these spaces together to just give out some tools that can really help people right now. And she and I talked about this and how yes, it is our life's work. Yes, we've invested lots of time and money and training into the work. Even her being a medical intuitive and being a psychic, she had to train to do that. It's, yes, some people are more intuitive than others, but it's not something that you're just born with and you figure it out. It takes so much refining and self-care and tuning in. And, she's really done a lot of that work. And she's very intellectual, very intelligent. Her dad's a PhD. She could have easily gotten, a PhD or gone the academic route, but she feels really called to be doing this psychic and spiritual work and teaching people to connect and reconnect. So she and I are a nice blend of spiritual and academic and intellectual and whatever else. And so we're going to be hosting these spaces. Anyway, she did a medical intuitive reading for me a lot, with some of the chest congestion, allergies and stuff that I've been experiencing. I'm very, very healthy, but so it's been strange to be having these weird body symptoms. So just looking into that. And of course, there was a lot of emotional stuff inside that she cleared. And so we cleared a ton of energy. And then she said, you might feel some detox symptoms like feeling fatigue or needing to sleep. And I've been sleeping on and off all day today. It's crazy. Kind of like when you pull an all-nighter. That's what it felt like you pull an all-nighter and you don't sleep at all. And then you got to sleep for the next 2 days really to catch up. That's what it felt like. And to imagine that being just from an hour-long energy clearing session where we're tuning into energies and colors, and we're both kind of going into our mental space and releasing. So this energy stuff is really powerful, and I can tell you this from the academic level too, because I took an energy medicine course this past summer as an elective in my PhD. It really blew my mind, and it just unified all of the mainstream training that I've gotten in psychology and mental health up until this point. So really powerful stuff, and definitely the direction that I'm going more and more in my business, because it's so important. And as we enter this age of Aquarius world, where it's more tech and more just more technology, and we're going to see like expansion in that area. Energy medicine and this ancient tapping in and intuition of and ways of knowing is not competing with technology. The synergy is what can zoom us forward. Speaking of Zoom, I'm on Zoom right now. That's a great name for a technology company. They were really probably getting an intuitive download with that. So yeah, that's my feelings on that. And along with this energy of detox lately, I hope I'm not moving too much from my camera, because sometimes it goes blurry on me. I've been physically taking excellent care of my body, and I suggest you do the same, not only because we're in a pandemic and your best defense is a good offense, or a good, I shouldn't say offense, but defense really is keeping your immune system working and operating and high. And the easiest way to do that is through nutrition, is through supplements, is through good lifestyle medicine, which I've been practicing and sharing and teaching for 20 years. So this is something I feel very confident about, but also the emotional piece, which takes a little bit longer because there's so many different layers to move through. And so, if you're trying to improve your immune system by increasing your emotional health, it just takes time. Okay. And so I have these mind body skills groups that I do 12 sessions. It's a very efficient and powerful way to heal trauma. If you're interested in that, please contact me on my website, natashaedwina.com, because I am gathering folks for the next round. Okay. So as soon as I get enough folks, and at least 5, no more than 10, then we're going to start the next round. I've already run 2 rounds since COVID started, with great success. And it's something that I love to share because it helps you move through. But in the meantime, what everybody can be doing is eating better. And so the most important thing you can do is just remove sugar. Take sugar out of your diet. Your white blood cells are impacted by 96% after eating sugar for the next 4 to 5 hours. And I'm talking sugars and alcohol, it's in ketchup, it's in if you eat a big bowl of rice. I know vegetarian and veganism is really popular, but if you're not eating vegetables and things like that, and you're mainly eating rice and carbohydrates and tortilla chips and all of that, that's not the best thing for your immune system. It's carbohydrates still boil down to sugar. And what happens is when sugar comes into your diet, it causes glycemic stress. So even though you're not stressed, maybe emotionally, you're physiologically stressed because that sugar burst comes in and it sends you up like this, right? And these roller coasters, which then your body thinks you're stressed, like emotionally stressed, because it's acting like that. So if you cut out the sugar, at first it doesn't feel good because you'll feel kind of detoxy, like I've been feeling energetically today. But once you start to balance and stabilize your blood sugar, and you don't have those swings, then you can calm down your nervous system, right? Because you're not getting these artificial spikes, stress spikes. And that's why when people change their diet, they're able to even reverse diabetes and things like that. So this is very much what I study in my PhD. And this is these 12-week mind body skills groups integrate this science as well. And then I also have a partnership with USANA Health Sciences. And I use products, supplements, and other products that help you get off of sugar by teaching a very easy way to normalize blood sugar, and starting with these very well balanced shakes, because you have to feel the difference before you even have the energy to go grocery shopping and schedule your day and plan your meals and all of that. So that's another thing that I offer that can help you with stress at this time. But what I've been doing is a couple days ago, I made this huge batch of lentil soup. It's just celery, carrots, garlic, very simple, but it's nourishing, right? And I use chicken broth, bone broth, And then instead of lentils, I've been using mung beans. And I'm not vegetarian. Protein and fats are very, very important when you are starting to balance your blood sugar and stay away from these sugar swings. However, mung beans are very high in protein. So a cup of mung beans, and probably each bowl of soup that I have is about a half cup. Half cup of mung beans is about 25 grams of protein, which is pretty good. If you ate 3 bowls of soup a day, let's say, that's 75 grams of protein a day. And for a woman, that's a pretty good target. You want to be like maybe 80 to 100 grams of protein for sure daily if you're pregnant. So I would think if you're not pregnant, probably 75 is decent. A whole cup of mung beans would be 50 grams of protein. So that's a really great vegetarian protein. However, if you're not used, it is bean, legume. So if you're not used to all that fiber and the vegetables, and then of course you're getting the broth, which is very hydrating to the system, you might be experiencing some digestive upset, some gas and some bloating and that sort of thing. And you want to have some digestive enzymes or a charcoal or something like that to absorb, the off-gassing or whatever as your digestive system regulates. And the more that you move towards that eating, the more it will regulate and be more efficient. And you feel more cleaned out, right? And so I offer 3 different digestive products. Actually, I use 3 different, 2 of them I sell. They're very good. I use all 3 because they're very good. I can use them all together. So if you're interested, if you're experiencing gas, bloating, whatever, digestive upset, please, again, reach out on my website and I can help connect you with something that can help, whether you're embarking on a new nutritional program or you're just trying to cope with getting into something. Like for me, I can't digest onions. So if I accidentally eat some onions, that's why I have those products too. They help me get through without pain. So yeah, a couple things anyway before we start the meditation. And here is your card. It is Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. I'm really excited about this card. I am actually going to read from the guidebook. I'm not as familiar with this card, but what's coming up for me intuitively, this is Kyle Gray, Angels and Ancestors. I like this deck. It's very multiculturally and expressive and diverse. You get a little bit of all kinds of different cultures coming through as angels and masters. Magic Guardian, what's coming up for me, a theme that I've noticed with myself and others lately, is that this is a really fertile time for us to self-care and rest, like I've been talking about, but also to prepare. It's almost like you are in the womb space right now and you're preparing to be birthed, right? And pretty soon, maybe this birth is going to happen in the spring, but you're preparing to be rebirthed into a more authentic, healthier, grounded, aware, spiritually in tune version of yourself. So it's really about up leveling. So for me, I'm kind of in midlife right now. And so there's already this natural process of reassessing your life and, hey, did I make the right choices? Am I happy with my choices? And of course, I am. And I'm very proud to say that I've made really good choices that align with my soul. And also there's this piece of really wanting to be recognized more for the internal value, the internal wealth that I have, the wisdom, the things that I've been through, that I've navigated, that I've learned about, and I have so much to share, right? And so that is part of my magic. My medicine is, and it's not just my degrees or the things that I've learned, but it's really the integration of that and how I've integrated that into my life experiences and the many, many life experiences that I've had, right? And so what is your magic? What has been what talents did you come in with? And how did you develop them? And how have you been using them? Or have you been busying yourself with something that pays the bills but doesn't resonate with your soul purpose, your soul message, or your soul being? And this is an opportunity to rest and digest, speaking of digestion, and realign in this comfortable womb space, energetic, metaphorical womb space, to up level. And so this might be all of the above: taking care of your mental health, taking care of your physical health, realigning spiritually, and tuning in and listening. What does your soul want you to do? And also, the big part of this is letting go of preconceived notions, letting go of other people's opinions, letting go of what can't happen. Because here's the deal. Ever since, whether you want to call it COVID, pandemic life, or you want to call it, look at the astrology, whichever way you look at it, you cannot deny that the world has changed, that linear time has changed. We're no longer in a rigid Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 type of schedule. For those of us who have been entrepreneurs, we've been out of that paradigm for a while anyway, but now almost like the whole world is sort of out of that paradigm now. It leaves more flexibility, more possibility, and what you don't think logically can happen can actually happen. It can happen. So don't, when you're visioning and you're looking at your magic, your talents, your tools, don't be limiting yourself. This is not about compromise. If you're visioning, you vision the biggest, best version of what you want. And remember, what you want might not be what somebody else wants for you, or what you want might not be like the epitome of like a Hollywood success story. Maybe that doesn't even resonate with you. Maybe what your ultimate version of life is to live in a cabin in the middle of Alaska or something. Maybe that's your dream life. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's whatever would be the biggest expression of you, your talents, your desires, your dreams. So it's time to dream big and just play with the universe. Invite in a sense of awe and wonder. And there's a document, a blog. It's on my blog. I think it's the only one that I left up there right now on my new website, natashaedwina.com. And it's top 10 habits to manifest your dreams. There's 10 things there that can help you vision this life that you want. And this happens, I use this all the time. And the things that I want come in pretty quickly. And it's not about saying, oh, does it here yet? Is it here yet? It's about putting it out there and trusting, and then just going about your business and doing your part, right? And you kind of forget about it. For me, one of the things is I make dream boards, right? Vision boards, and I see them subconsciously several times throughout the day. It's just planting that future vision. And now I have one hung up, but it's pretty much already manifested. It's after 5 months, I got to start over and do another one. Now, what's the next step? So look at that on my website if you need help with this unlocking the magic within. Okay, so let's find out what this card says, and then we'll move into meditation. Magic Guardian. Okay, here's a message. Stop looking outside yourself and recognize that you have incredible power within. Magic, with a K, is the energy of the universe that allows you to manifest and create through the direction and power of your will. It changes according to your frequency. The Magic Guardian is a representation of the angel of magic who helps you direct your will to bring something into creation. She is the angel who swirls around shamans and wise ones when they are calling on the energy of magic to help them manifest something that will be healing and supportive of their path. She is the angel of all magic that is directed for the highest good of whoever is working with it. The extended message is, you are the magic, you are the answer, you have it all within you. If you've been searching for an answer, for a reason to focus, recognize that all that you are looking for is already within you. You are a powerful, magical person with the capacity to direct your intentions and will your desires into being. But your power can only be powerful when you own it. So take time to acknowledge it. Your ability to dedicate yourself to a goal and make it happen is a real gift that you are being guided to recognize now. So yeah, as I was saying, it's about manifestation, recognizing your talents, and then doing your part. So doing your part is, you put out the image, you put out the desire, you put the order in. I say, like, if you're walking into a frozen smoothie shop, and there's all those toppings and choices, do you walk in and say, no, I'll just do vanilla, I'd be happy with vanilla, vanilla's fine? Or do you just go all out and put everything you want on there, that you truly desire? So that's what you're doing when you're ordering up this manifestation, this new life. And sometimes, I don't like the word manifestation because it gets sort of overused into this, what's the word? Fluff, right? Rather than really understanding the deep, energetic processes underneath this and the way that it really happens scientifically too. So recognizing your talents, this relates to the individual card readings that I did on Instagram Live. So if you all are still with me on this meditation, you could see the theme is continuing to come through with knowing your talents, being flexible, knowing that everything you need is within you. It's just about bringing the inward outward. I'm speaking to myself when I say this as well. Creating that external projection, that external reminder of everything, the abundance and the wealth that's within, right? That you've cultivated your whole life up until this point, just by being you and being the soul born into the planet with the highest intentions and the highest good of all. And so when your manifestations match what you're calling in, matches what's in the highest good of all, that's going to be supercharged superpower, because you're saying that you're here to be of service and you're here to bring beauty and light, right? And whether you're in mental health or services like I am, or you are a creative, or you're putting out music or whatever, or art or whatever it is that you're doing, you're imprinting somebody else, you're putting a positive ripple out in the world, right? It's not just for wealth or money or, to be comfortable. Those things are nice, but this manifestation goes a lot faster when we're looking at the true value of wealth and abundance. My last name, which is now my legal last name, Edwina, is a family name. It means wealth, and not wealth necessarily financially, but wealth and abundance and friendship and love. And I specifically, it used to be my middle name, but I changed it to my last name to signify and root in that as my legacy, my family legacy, right? And really living up to that. Okay, so here we go with some meditation on unlocking your magic. How about in stepping into your your power, your bigger version of yourself. All right, so get cozy with me. I'm going to take some water so I don't end up coughing and choking this time. Shout out to my friends and clients on the East Coast. If you're watching this, happy to have you here with me, either live or in the recording. Okay, so you can either sit up with your spine straight, or you can lie down, whichever is more comfortable. Be aware that I do hypnosis, so I have a hypnotic voice, and this can put people to sleep sometimes. So if you're not wanting to go to sleep and you're wanting to remember what's said fully, I mean, you always go into some sense of altered state. That's only natural when you relax. But if you're wanting to be conscious of some downloads or some imagery or some messages, you might like to sit up. And so with your spine straight and grounded, so either your pelvis is, if you're lying down, is rooted into the earth, or your feet are rooted into the earth. And protecting this space with either an energetic bubble or a pyramid of light, so that we have this force field around us, that nothing harmful, no negative energies can come in. Only highest love, highest truth, unconditional love, and anything beneficial can saturate and absorb. But anything else, it's blocked, almost with the strength of steel. Nothing can come in that can harm. And during this time, you can connect to your spiritual source. You can connect to any religious figures or even animal spirit guides, even former pets, whoever's on the other side that you feel can be a helpful presence during this. You can invite them in if you like, not required. And as your spiritual support team assembles, feel the energy shifts in your body. Notice if you might feel a little bit more relaxed, a little less alone, a little bit more at peace. And let's just tune into the breath, allowing the easy flow of inhale and exhale. With each inhale, remembering that you deserve to receive. With each exhale, how lovely it is to give. And again, receive through the inhale. and how good it feels to give. In this balance of the inhale, the exhale, of giving and receiving, of masculine and feminine, whatever it is, this balance is so delicious, it's so abundant. That in itself is abundance, balance, synergy. It's the creation point of anything being possible. Deepak Chopra talks about the space between the breath, the balance point. Joe Dispenza talks about that space between the breath as the ultimate creation, when whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest into this world has the potential to become so powerful, so saturated energetically that it can't help but form into physical matter. If you've been following me for a little while, you know that I traveled to Tulum over Thanksgiving with some of my very close friends and colleagues, and we had such a magical time that I ended up coming back feeling as though I was in love. The dopamine was high, the colors were brighter, everything was magical. And to keep that vibration going, I did not return to Facebook. I've been spending less time on Instagram. I've been focusing on those people who are showing up in my life and doing those things that are nurturing and keeping that love alive, right? Taking care of myself. Everybody's searching for love and that feeling of love, but are you creating it? What are you doing to create it in each moment with the food that you put in your mouth, with the air that you breathe in, with the way that you breathe, the way that you do things, the way that you eat, the way that you interact with people, and the boundaries you enforce. My show on Monday, the Spiritual Sexual Empowerment Show, is about boundaries, drawing the line. With my dear friend Kirti, who is also in Tulum with me. We'll be talking about this more, but we created this love, right? And you can watch those YouTube videos right here on this channel in the Goddess Vibrations playlist about how we did that. And weeks later, my divine counterpart, my lover, showed up, appeared, manifested, right? Right, literally to my front door. That wasn't why I was creating love in Tulum, but you see how this manifestation works when you are love and you're vibrating love. It's like Velcro. Magnetism that aligns you to a like-minded energy can't be stopped. It's energy. And somehow people don't believe in this, though they believe in their Wi-Fi signals that power their phones and their TVs, and they know that exists. But why aren't they believing that we can create that energy through our own thoughts and minds and hearts and our breath? So realizing how powerful you are as a human being, if you even think about the way your body works, all of the functions it effortlessly manages day in and day out. And even if we don't feed our bodies or give it enough water, or we're smoking cigarettes or pouring substances into our body, it's still so resilient. And it still wakes up and does tasks and thinks and goes to the gym or can walk. Our bodies are really brilliant. And if you're like me and you have a very strong mind-body connection, your body will scream at you if something is off, either in your environment or in your actions. And my body keeps me living a very clean life, a high integrity life. It doesn't give me much wiggle room. And so I'm grateful for that. And it takes a lot of energy and time, and sometimes money, to create the life that my body wants to live, that's comfortable, that allows it to open. But there's so many benefits. And so, what are you doing to honor your body and allow it to tap into your magic? Because if you have all this magic within you, and you do, it needs to be expressed. And it's going to be best expressed if your body is healthy and in good working order. And even doing something as simple as a chakra cleaning or clearing exercise every morning. And there's many ways that you can do this. I've been taught many different ways, but a lot of them, I just make up my own imagery about imagining the different colors that align with each of the chakras and imagining it going from dirty to bright and shiny. Sometimes I imagine a spiritual vacuum going into my body and just vacuuming out anything, any stuck energies or dust or accumulations or other people's slime or whatever projections they throw on you, judgments. And I imagine vacuuming that out. And then I imagine each of my chakra centers, from the root to the pelvis, sacral chakra, to the abdomen, the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat, to the third eye, to the crown chakra, which is just above the head. I imagine them pulsing and glowing and vibrating in a bigger energy. You can also imagine them like fans. So if you just do a scan, and each energy center, each chakra is like a fan, how fast is it going? How big are the blades? Is it a tiny little fan inside of you, or can it expand outside of your body? So the first step is seeing and being aware of where you're at. And then some sort of cleansing, either simultaneously for all the chakras or one by one, bottom to top. And then expanding the corrective experience. Growing the fan, intensifying the color, the vibrancy. Consciously feeling the energy grow. And when your chakras are aligned, we can do this imagery work, it actually regulates the body. So the biology is very tapped in to the mental and visible energy, right? And that energy is flowing rapidly. It allows us to get divine downloads. And sure, certain people are born with certain talents and proclivities, and you are born into a certain DNA lineage that you inherit maybe physical or genetic talents as well. For instance, I may have a desire to sing, but doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to have a beautiful singing voice. But perhaps if I'm born into a body with many ancestors who have beautiful singing voices, perhaps that's going to be a little bit easier for me to express that desire, right? So you were born into this body with these desires and natural talents. You were born into this body that might help you express them a little bit more, but all of our creativity, all of our knowledge, all of our insights come from a collective spiritual source tapping in. Like I've often said, we're all little iPhones connected to the same iCloud account, uploading and downloading. We need to do our best to credit other teachers or other people who say things that we learned from, but even they shared it from someone else, maybe who lived thousands of years ago. We're all recycling and putting our own unique stamp on it. And so, what is your unique stamp? What is your magic? Take a little time now while I go silent and speak to your soul wisdom. And ask your soul to remind you, what are my talents? What am I good at? What is my magic? What is my medicine? What can I offer right now that the world needs? Take the next few moments. And when you've located those talents, those gifts, see yourself offering them now. Visualize it. In the highest expression as well. It doesn't mean that's where you start, but the highest expression, what's the end point? What's the peak? How are you showing up and sharing your gifts to the most amount of people possible, given your talent and your gift, so that you can still stay in integrity, the energy behind it. Now, what are you doing in your downtime for fun, for leisure? What is juicing you up? besides your sacred calling and your sacred work. Obviously, that juices us up, but it's still work. It's still energy expenditure. It's still the exhale. What does your inhale look like? Are you in nature? Are you laughing? Are you with family, a lover? Where do you live? What's your lifestyle? What kind of vacations are you engaging in? What is the inhale? Visualize it. Feel it. Use all of your senses, the smells, the sounds, the temperatures. Maybe you're in the water. What temperature is the water? What does it feel like to be in the water? How does the sand feel? How does the sun feel? Can you hear the birds? What are you eating, drinking? Can you feel the bliss spiraling up through your body and just bursting out of your heart? When you are truly in your bliss, you are in service to the collective. You are in service to the planet. It's not about toning it down because others might be jealous. It's about them vibing up. When you're living in your bliss, they see it's possible. And if they're feeling envious or jealous, that's on them to understand that that feeling is just pointing them to their desire. And it's time for them to get into action and to start cleaning up their energy, cleaning up their body, paying attention to the soul whispers, and really making the most out of this time on earth. We all have different destinies, but we all deserve love. We are all here to love each other and to share and experience bliss and beauty and pleasure. So if you're in that bliss state now, let's spend a little more time there. Let's enhance this, right? I know this is bedtime meditation, but this can segue into some beautiful dreams and a more beautiful tomorrow where you wake up refreshed. Because when you're in the bliss state, when you've created that feeling of love, you do wake up early. You pop out of bed. You can't wait for another day to just live life. And so begin to create a bigger container to hold this bliss. That's very, very important. So if you've already cleansed your chakras, that's a good start. Imagine your energetic bubble now filling up with this bliss energy. And it can come from, a good place is Christ consciousness. I think of Christ consciousness as like a white light. It's unconditional love. I've had the white light of Jesus Christ appear to me a few times in my life. And each time it's so intensely loving that it immediately brings tears to my eyes. And that's how I know it's actual Christ energy. Other times, most times, I can use that energy that he shares, but it is a little bit different than when it's full blast, full force, and I feel as if you have to be ready to receive it. Otherwise, it can be too intense. And so inviting in that unconditional love, whether it's Christ consciousness or from your spiritual source, however that makes sense to you in your mind, Divine Mother, Father God. Roses are often a symbol of unconditional love as well, and care and nurturing. So if you want to use that imagery, you can imagine the rose opening up to the sun, to that Christ consciousness energy. And start to feel a warmth in your body, like a buzzing warmth. Your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. It's kind of filling up your limbs. You can feel it in your torso, the center of your belly, moving and washing your organs, saturating them in unconditional love, which is also very healing, by the way. Really feeling this bliss in the heart space. So feeling your heart soften, melt. Let those walls of protection melt. You don't need them. You have good boundaries. You do not need walls around your heart. Good boundaries, this bubble, this force field that we enacted earlier, allows your heart to soften. Trust yourself. We've all had our heart broken. If not, we will. Somebody will do it. A friend, a lover. And the idea is to let your heart break open. As I learned from one of my spiritual teachers, Fareen Sheehan, who channels Ascended Masters. Let your heart break open. Allow that heartbreak to remind you of the capacity and the depth and the magnitude and the intensity of love in the heart and what it's capable of, that equal and opposite bliss. I can love ferociously and abundantly. And if somebody cannot receive that love, that's on them. That's their work to do. Doesn't mean that I'm going to smother them or encroach in their life, but that love is always there, a well to tap into, and it doesn't ever dry up. My energy dries up, my actions dry up because it's energy. It has to be replenished. But my love is an infinite, abundant, flowing source because it's connected to source. So feeling this bliss buzz in your body and your heart, feeling your chest soften and expand. Feeling this heat rising from your chest and letting it soften your throat chakra. Expression. So first we have to get that love moving, and then we can soften the throat so that we can express the words. We can tell people we love them. Maybe they're not in a space to say I love you back. That's okay. If you truly are loving unconditionally, you don't need to hear it back. It's nice to hear it back. You don't need to. It's simply about saying what you feel. Something really beautiful about the human condition is that we are mirrors for each other. So when someone truly authentically shares how they're feeling, it invites us to be authentic and vulnerable and share our feelings, and then back and forth, back and forth. I'm feeling quite warm now. I hope you are too. My hands are hot, radiating. You can even use that energy and place your warm, radiating hands on any parts of your body that need healing. Bring that love energy, whether it's your knees or your liver or a headache or a toothache or your lungs. Use that bliss energy for healing. And then maybe bring that heat and that warmth up to the third eye, allowing it to melt away any illusions, any things that you're afraid to see or don't want to see. And perhaps even bringing in a refreshing coolness across your forehead. A refreshing coolness that keeps you grounded in logic and clear perception. And maybe intend that when you turn on the news or you hear somebody talking to you, it doesn't matter what the words are saying, you feel into the energy and the vibration. This third eye is wide open and you can spot insensitivity and you can spot nonsense, and you don't get reactive about it. You just disengage. You laugh it off. Shake your head and put your attention on what's real. Completely unfuckwithable. Nobody is going to pull the wool over your third eye if it's open. You're grounded, you're connected, you have this group of spiritual support on the other side. Not saying that they know all the answers, but they have a different perspective than you do, that they can share and whisper to you in your dreams, in your meditations, to help provide guidance. So maybe even sharing some gratitude for them and doing your part to keep that third eye open. And it's itching right now. There's some energy there. And then your crown chakra, that area above your head, feeling that open. Again, like imagine maybe a bowl ready to receive this spiritual guidance, this love, this flow of supportive energy. No matter if you're alone right now or not, you're not alone. You're connected. Inhale that in and let it fill up the body and swirl around with the bliss that you've already created. This bliss that you've created by focusing in on what would light you up in this energy. I know the world seems so weird and so crazy right now, but it's an incredible opportunity of swift change and transformation. Now is the time to make your moves. You don't like how things have been going the last decades, then now is your time to change it. Everything's sort of crumbling and reshifting anyway. There's nothing to lose. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Even there's going to be losses, but they're going to clear out space and clear out energy and create opportunities for a new way of being and allow you to take a risk and a chance that would have felt too risky before. Now, anything goes. So open up to that spiritual guidance. And if you need help right now, throw your hands up into the air, put them in prayer position. Say, tell me, please tell me when it's time to fill in the blank. Or if blank is right for me right now, give me a sign that I cannot ignore. Be careful when you do this. You have to be careful what you ask for, because if they send you a sign, it could be a dramatic change to your life, and you want to make sure you're honoring it by acknowledging it and taking action and having full faith and full trust in your intuition and your spiritual connection. I'm very excited for you. I see so much beauty for you, so much beauty for all of us. In this world, we are recreating, co-creating together by tuning in to what really matters and staying grounded in this reality as well, in these physical bodies, in these sensations, in growth and change and social consciousness. What is your medicine? What is your magic? Go out and use it. And if you're ready for sleep now, you can drift off into sleep, intending to have the most restorative, relaxing, refreshing night of rest. And if you'd like to be given more downloads, more intuitive hits in your dreams, you can ask for that. Have a journal right by your bedside so you can write them in the morning, or even like a audio on your phone, you can say them. So you capture them in that subconscious state. When we first wake up in the morning, we're in a state of hypnosis naturally. We can retrieve messages, we can retrieve anything from the unconscious, the subconscious mind. And as soon as we come into alertness and waking consciousness, it all slips away. It's still there, behind the scenes, guiding our actions, but it's not conscious. And sometimes bringing the unconscious conscious is the power move. If you're needing help with this in a formal hypnosis session, I offer those online. You can do them through Zoom. You can contact me on Instagram or on my website to schedule that. And if you're not ready for sleep yet, I would invite you to very gently begin to move your body, maybe sway, caressing or tapping your thighs, reminding yourself that you're in a body, this beautiful body that you're so grateful for. Give it some love, give it some squeezes, love taps. Take some nice, deep cleansing breaths. And eventually flutter your eyes open at your own pace. Thank you for joining me. Once again, I'm Natasha Edwina. You can connect with me on my newsletter through my website, natashaedwina.com. I'll be here at least during the retrograde and the retrograde shadow, Tuesday and Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard, live, 10 p.m. Eastern. And I have a show every Monday, Goddess Vibrations, a spiritual sexual empowerment show where I interview guests and we talk about empowerment and female sexuality and intimacy and relationships and really high level information. So I hope you join me there. This is my place to express the lighter side of my PhD research. That was the inspiration. So may it be a benefit to you as well. And I would love for you to join my email community when you visit my website. Good night. Have a lovely evening. I will see you on Tuesday, if not sooner.